Cool. So on to our next one, your AFQY experience. G'day, it's Ryan the Lion from A Few Quiet Yarns, okay, with none other than Rod Snodgrass, or as I lovingly call him, Rowdy Roddy Snodgrass. So thank you very much. It's bloody good to have you on the show. So just because I'm sitting in swinging distance doesn't mean you can't tell the truth. What do you think? What's your experience?
Oh look, Ryan, I really like it. AFQY. So look, it's great. I think I've been going 2 to 3 years. I think. I think it's a great platform for people to meet up in a sort of non-salesy environment. Quite a diverse range of people, which is one of the things that has attracted me to it, and I continue to go when I can. You know, diverse range of people from both skill sets and backgrounds and ethnicities. Very broad, sort of cultural backgrounds. You know, quite tech-centric, which I like. You know, I guess meshing together with business, which is good, and you know, broad range of ages, jobs. So that's the thing I like about it. It's probably one of the, if not the most sort of diverse meetup that I attend, and certainly enjoy it.
Focused yet diverse at the same time. Yeah, well thank you very much, and you know, another little thanks to you, or big thanks to you, because I don't think I've got enough hands or fingers for the people you've dragged along over the years to experience it, and they also, like yourself, keep coming back when they can, so that's always a good things are going well, and you know, thank you very much for your support, and thank you very much for your company. So yeah.
And thanks for telling me off at everyone I come to for talking.
Well, you'll be pleased to know that quite a few people have agreed with your concept that I shouldn't introduce everybody. We'll accept that it can be done, but it takes too long, and therefore it doesn't really help what everyone's there for. So
maybe the new ones.
Yeah. Well, what we did at the last one, which we're doing at the next one on February 27th, is that I introduce a few, and then I invite a couple of people up who want to introduce a few, and that's it. So it doesn't take a long time, but also enables people who want to get up and give it a go. To a bit of a format, so we don't get any long life stories.
As much as we love your dulcet tones, Ryan.
Yes. So that brings us on to the big one, and this is not a test, and it doesn't have to be the highest trending thing on the internet. But what's the coolest thing in tech, according to Rod?
Oh wow. I think most things in tech are pretty cool, to be honest. I think one of the emerging things that I don't know if it's cool, but it's the one that fascinates me the most is the autonomous electric vehicle. Because I think when they arrive en masse, it will completely change the way we think about mobility. And if you think about it in the world, and you look back every time you have three industries converging or colliding, such as telco, media and IT, as have been sort of 15 years ago now, you have massive change. A lot of the incumbents are impacted to the negative, and all the attackers come into the positive, but you get generally benefits to consumers. If you look at what happened with the internet turning up and then going on broadband, and then the smartphone arriving, and then the IT that occurred on that with applications, software and applications, and then how that merged with media and what we have now. Video is now Netflix, music is now Spotify, e-commerce is now Amazon and Trade Me, and it's sort of completely shifted industries. When you look at the electric autonomous car, you have the collision of communications, because they'll be hyper connected, energy, the batteries on wheels, and transport. And when you think about those three things coming together, you start thinking about mobility as a service and a platform that moves not only people, but it will move things, it will move data, in the sense of metadata. I think each Google car consumes 1 gigabit of data per second per car, so huge chunks of data. And interestingly, power. These things have got, even the small ones have got batteries that are many times larger than a Tesla Powerwall. So I don't see the reason for Powerwalls in the future, because you'll have one in the car as long as you own it. So I think that'll get very interesting in itself. It'll change transport as a mode, and hopefully unlock, and I think can unlock with good strategy and architectures, the smart city. And when you've got potentially more cars on the road, but travelling closer together, moving a lot more of the time, because cars only move 4 to 6% of the time in the developed world at the moment. You don't need the car parks, you don't need as many roads, you'll have less accidents. that unlocks a lot of capacity in the city and gives us the opportunity to solve a lot of problems, you know, pollution, housing, etc., etc. So that one's probably the one I'm interested in. I don't know if it's the coolest tech, but I think it could be one of the ones that changes the game the most.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree. I've been on this journey myself. So at a Air New Zealand web meeting many years ago, I raised the idea, it just came to me, what about autonomous vehicles that are big enough to take people? Imagine if you could get picked up at the Koru Club and flown into your hotel, and then from your hotel to the top of Mount Cook. And 2 weeks earlier than that, and I wrote a little story, it's all there, it's all legit. 2 weeks earlier than that, at the, maybe it's the CES or the Chinese version of it, there was a Chinese, looked like the old Magnum PI helicopter, but it had 4 rotor blades sticking out the side of it.
Just a large drone.
Yeah, just a large drone. He owns the 500-metre corridor over the motorways, but not over the houses. And when you get to that 500-metre mark, it then becomes the commercial airspace. So there's all sorts of things. There's a company, Lilium, from Germany, that makes what you call the classic movie spaceship version.
The Jetsons one, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's
well, imagine a
super
world where those
exciting space.
are at a price point consumers can travel in. You won't need to live in the city anymore.
No, well, that's the point. Who posted about this recently? And someone said, yeah, you won't need to live in the city, you can just jump in from anywhere. But would that mean you need to own your own one so you could jump in at your convenience? Or
No.
you'd call it like an Uber?
Well, I think the logical owner of that transport mode is the city, and then it comes down to how do they monetize it. I guess it's a sort of a per kilometre charge.
The thing I just wanted to pick up on is you were talking about the 3 industries converging and how this was making an impact. I've never heard anyone mention it before. Maybe I live on a bit of a rock, but one of the
No, you live in Te Awamutu.
Te Awamutu, okay. But you mentioned Spotify, and it wasn't even the fact that it was iTunes. So
They were the first guys before all of them who were outlawed in the end, but they were the real trailblazers.
as a Napster?
Napster, yeah, I mean, they were the first guys, you know, everyone. You think back to browsers, it was, you know, Netscape. And there's always someone early on, you know, they've just come in too early in the market.
Well, go back to 1996 and I got my 1.33 Pentium PC Direct computer with a 100 megabyte zip drive to transfer work files, so I could do my artwork at home, and I would go and log on extra through Netscape, and it had this nice little 3D world that looked kind of like the Jetsons.
Yeah, it took a while to load though, didn't it? At 56k.
Well, as my mum would say back in the day, just go and make a cup of tea.
Yeah, as the bee comes down.
Yeah. But for those of you that don't know, there'll be, I know, let's say half that do, half that don't. You get a little bit of history of extra, going back in the early days. 96 is the right year, isn't it? That's when the internet started.
That's when they started. I didn't join Extra till back into 97, so it'd been going a little over a year for the original guys that started it. So I was sort of I think we had about 50,000 customers when I joined. So it was sort of a year and a half in.
Yeah.
People thought I was working for a toothpaste company or a chewing gum company. I remember my mates when I worked for Extra.
Yeah. Well, it does sound like it, yeah. Well, there was the Extra brand,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always had the internet. And I remember Perch, IRC, the original social media.
Yeah, I see.
Which will probably be preceded actually by bulletin boards, but that's going back into like green screen technology.
Yeah, AOL a little bit after that. You've got mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days, eh? Well, we have pretty much covered it. Is there anything else that you'd like to share before we wrap up and enjoy our Valentine's Day? I can cut that.
No, you can leave that in, but I don't want to share that. No, it's great. You have a good weekend though. And
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time.
pleasure, Ryan.
Thank you very
As
much for your
always.
support, and great to have you on a Yarn with Rod. Ka kite anō. We will see you soon. Oh, February 27th at Andrew down the viaduct. Lovely little spot for the sun, so we'll see you there. You free?
No, I'm writing.
Oh yeah. Oh, send us the live footage. We'll put it up on the big screen.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, good luck with that. We'll keep you in tune with what's happening with the ride, and we'll see you on the 27th. You're coming to AFQY. Cheers.